Matt LaFleur and the Packers rolling the dice all day, and Jordan Love coming through all day. With 1:50 to go, they go for it on 4th and 3, and Love finds Dontavian Wicks for the game-sealing first down. Packers win it 31-24. They improve to 8-3-1. The Lions fall to 7-5. They also lost Amon-Ra St. Brown early in this game with an ankle injury. He did not return, second in the NFL in touchdown receptions coming into this game. But Green Bay goes into Detroit and upsets the Lions, who were favored by 3 points. Green Bay grabbed an early lead, and the Lions never able to catch up. Let's bring in Jason Cabinda, who played for the Lions, and Mike Renner. And Jason, I'm going to start with you on just what Matt LaFleur did in that game and the chances that he took on 4th down, and it seemed like every time it paid off. What did you think of that?
It almost looked like the Dan Campbell formula for a second there, and the shout out to Green Bay because they did a really good job. Obviously, it shows the confidence that he has in Jordan Love. And, we've seen Jordan Love continue to grow week in and week out. And shout out to his receivers as well, who at the end of the day on these 4th down plays really made some good contested catches. It's not like all of this stuff was schemed up to be wide open. At the end of the day, players make plays, and in those moments, in those critical moments where play was needed, the Green Bay was on the right side of that favor and made the play.
Yeah, you have to applaud LaFleur for the aggressiveness there. I thought, on 3rd down, they were just going to run, take it to around a minute left, 4th down punt, make him go the length of the field. But no, 2 perfect passes from Jordan Love. First one's dropped, second one an amazing play there by Dontavian Wicks, and the 4th downs were the story of this game. 3 for 3 for Green Bay, 0 for 2 for Detroit. That flips, Detroit wins the game, but Green Bay got them. Hats off to them. Massive, massive win there. They're now over 90% chance of making the playoffs after that one. That had a lot of playoff leverage for both of these teams.
Yeah, and for Detroit, you have to start to worry a little bit. Already on the outside looking in, going into the week, Mike, they fall a little bit further back. And when you look at what they're going to be facing the rest of the way, it's not easy. They've got Thursday night against the Cowboys, then at the Rams before hosting the Steelers, and they've got the Vikings and Bears to finish the season. What do you think of the long-term prospect for the Lions this season, given that they could potentially be without Amon-Ra St. Brown as well?
I'm very worried because this defense cannot stop anyone. They let Jameis Winston go up and down the field on them a week ago. They let Jordan Love and company go up and down the field on them today. 0.28 EPA per play they allowed. That's over double Green Bay's average for the season. And you got the Cowboys and Rams. You got 2 of probably the 5 best offenses in the NFL coming up on your schedule. I don't know if things get better there in Detroit. Now, maybe they're getting some help. Maybe Kirby Joseph is coming back. Maybe Marcus Davenport's going to play a bigger role. But I don't know if that's enough to fix what ails this defense because right now they cannot stop anyone.
Yeah, look, this is pretty worrisome for this Detroit team. As soon as I saw Amon-Ra St. Brown go down today, I knew that, trouble was in the water. The reality is Amon-Ra is one of those players for that offense that continually keeps them going. He makes the clutch plays. He's their 3rd down savant. And without him today, you even saw some wide receivers, some misalignments, plays not going their way. They relied heavily on J-Mo, and it's just tough when you have a quarterback as well where they know you're without your number 1 target. They know that you're a bit of a statue quarterback and that you struggle when we get you off of your spot. And when you have rushers like Micah Parsons, like Rashawn Gary, Edgerrin Cooper, pressuring the quarterback, it just makes it that much harder. And then not only that, they couldn't get the run game going today. We've seen Jahmyr Gibbs go on a stretch right now that is unbelievable. And we see him with these game-breaking runs. They weren't able to produce that out of that 2-headed monster today in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So moving forward, obviously Frank Ragnow is now coming back. Shout out to Frank, who's, going to be risking his health to come back just to get this team going. That's the kind of love that these players have for each other and then Frank has for this team. But man, that loss of Frank Ragnow, I think you're seeing each and every week is a lot bigger than maybe a lot of people expected going into this season.
You saw the numbers for Montgomery there, just 32 yards on the ground on 8 carries. Gibbs 20 carries, but just 68 yards. less than 3.5 yards per carry. Mike, let's flip it over to the other side and the Green Bay Packers and the offense that finally broke out. After the injury to Tucker Kraft, I mean, they're sitting there. They scored 13 against the Panthers in that game where he got injured. Then they only scored 7 against the Eagles. Struggled with the Giants on the road, put up 27. Vikings was a bit of a slog. They won 23-6. What does this tell you about the rest of the way for this offense and the way that Jordan Love was able to play?
I'm very bullish because he's doing it without Matthew Golden and Jaden Reed, 2 of his top wide receivers. And so you see guys like Dontavian Wicks, who makes that big 4th down, 2 big 4th downs in this game, him flourishing. You see Christian Watson, his deep ability really coming through. And you see Jordan Love, truthfully, playing at the best we've seen him in his entire NFL career over these past few weeks since that Eagles game. He has been lights out. He's had a lot of drops. He's dealt with that over his entire career. But in this game, I just go to the throw to Christian Watson right after they got that big 4th down stop. The bomb just in the bucket, fearless. So many of those throws on his tape today that this was one of the best games of his career. And if he plays like this week in and week out, Green Bay is going to be a difficult team to beat when they get those receivers back.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it that Tucker Kraft was a big loss for this offense, and you're seeing the offense, today kind of pick up that slack. I'm going to temper mine back a bit, Mike. The reason why I say this is because, the reason why this offense was booming the way it was because Tucker Kraft was their middle of the field savant, and they were doing such a good job of attacking the middle of the field. Even today, you still don't see them attacking the middle of the field, or maybe I should say having that same level of production in the middle of the field with Tucker Kraft not on the field. And I think that you're going to see a lot of split safety coverage, a lot of people trying to, force you to go in the middle, force you to attack that intermediate range of the field. I still don't see that part of it, but at least today they were able to establish the run game really well. Josh Jacobs averaged almost 5 yards a carry today, and that's really what was able to get them going during most of their drives. So if they can keep that winning formula going and also increase that production in the middle of the field, I think this team has a real shot.
It was 4th downs early. It was a 4th down late. They scored their first 2 touchdowns on 4th down touchdown passes by Jordan Love, and then they closed the game with a huge completion from Jordan Love to Dontavian Wicks on a 4th and 3 when Love was hit to get the first down and run out the clock on this huge win in Detroit. Our thanks to Mike Renner and Jason Kabinda for the coverage here on CBS Sports HQ as the Cowboys and Chiefs get set to kick off over on CBS. Let's take a look at what's going on in the NFC North now. And there's a couple different problems for the Lions as you see the Packers and Bears on top. The Lions not only are 7-5 and as of right now out of the playoff picture in that 8th spot in the NFC, they're just 1-3 in the division. 1-3, while the Bears are 1-2. The Packers are 3-0.
Excited. The one thing I'm excited about is this coaching matchup. I've coached in a lot of these Thanksgiving week games. I coached years ago in a game during Thanksgiving. Tim Doyle called the game, and I finished with 3 players on the floor. So these games can really get crazy if Tim remembers that. But Jon Scheyer, he's walking on the court as a coach back in the United Center, not as a player, because in 2000, early in his career, in 2010, January 6th, he scored 31 points in the United Center, which is his second most in his career. So he can't suit up today, but boy, he's got a talented young team going up against Coach Cal. So I'm really excited about the X's and O's, after timeout plays, coming out of timeouts. I'm really excited about this coaching matchup.
Yeah, no doubt. You're talking about, John Calipari, a Hall of Famer. Jon Scheyer, actually, Claudia and Avery, I got a chance to see Jon Scheyer play in high school. The guy was fantastic. I mean, Mike Conley guarded him in Lawrence North, and Scheyer lit him up in that game. And let's not forget, Jon Scheyer won a national championship as a player at Duke, had an eye injury, and then never really fulfilled his full potential.